Plastic pollution brings destruction to natural resources such as waterways and wildlife by releasing toxic chemicals like bisphenol A, phthalates and flame retardants from rubbish that is disposed of incorrectly. The animals that drink from or live in the waterways are poisoned and die, leading to massive flow-on effects for ecosystems. Global industry analysts in 2012 estimated plastic consumption is to exceed 297.5 million tonnes by 2015. Within this plastic dependency crisis, plastic pollution has arisen very seriously in New Zealand. Plastic pollution is a large environmental concern. Newly published findings of a global study reported in the New Zealand Herald states that more than 25,000 kilograms of plastic waste is littered in New Zealand each day. This means that we are using materials that are designed to last but for short-term purposes. An estimated 5 to 13 million tonnes of plastic waste winds up in the world's oceans every year. Fun fact, almost every piece of plastic ever made still exists today, resulting in patches of oceanic garbage. Some as large as the state of Texas hold a high volume of non-biodegradable plastics, such as polyethylene bags, which take hundreds and hundreds of years to decompose.
New Zealand does not have the capacity to handle the growing plastic issue. The millions of plastic bottles we consume are compacted, wrapped in plastic, and then shipped to Asia by diesel-hungry boats. The New Zealand plastics industry predicts from current trends that over 300,000 tonnes of raw plastic material will be imported in 2030. Seeing that this is an ever-increasing problem in New Zealand, the aim for our business idea is to combat the problem of plastic.
Introducing CYC apparel. CYC apparel will collect locally sourced plastic bottles made of PET, polyethylene terephthalate, from recycling facilities and uses to create polyester fabric. With this recycled fabric, we will make clothing, which we will sell for a profit. The company will employ local workers and sell directly to local consumers. Statistics New Zealand states that waste represents a loss of resources both in the form of materials and energy. Recycling of the plastic bottles both reduces plastic pollution and reduces pressure on the production of fabrics, conserving non-renewable resources. By collecting the plastic bottles when it's at the end of its lifespan and giving it a new purpose, we are prolonging its life cycle.
The aim for the company will be to create a product which promotes eco-friendly behaviour. There will be labels on the clothing which will have information on how the products were made, what went into making them, and the harm plastics have on the environment. The label will also encourage consumers to continue the life cycle of the clothing by passing it on to friends, younger siblings, cousins, or op shops, rather than end its cycle and throw it into the landfill. This will encourage consumers to be conscious about the products they buy. EcoFi is a company which was successful in establishing this idea over in the United States. The company produces high-quality polyester fibre made from 100% certified recycled plastic, PET bottles. CYC Apparel will bring this idea to New Zealand.
The key stakeholders in CYC Apparel include consumers, suppliers, employees, shareholders, governmental and non-governmental organisations.
Employment Relations Act 2000 says the Employment Relations Authority helps to resolve employment relationship problems. It does this by looking into the fact and making a decision based on the material metrics of the case, not on technicalities. It is an independent body set up under the Employment Relations Act 2000. We need to recognize employment relation problems and be clear about the facts. We also need to make sure what each side employees think of what is happening and what has happened within the business, and it should be clarified so that they do not misjudge through the assumption of a misunderstanding.
Consumer now states that the Fair Trading Act of 1986 protects you against being misled or treated unfairly by traders or shops. The Act prohibits misleading and deceptive conduct, unsubstantiated claims, false representations, and certain unfair practices. To stay within the rules of the Act, CYC Apparel would need to ensure that the marketing of our products was not false or misleading. For example, we could only state that it was made out of 100% recycled materials if that was completely true. Misleading advertising or false representation of our product could cause legal trouble for our company, resulting in large fines and potentially bankruptcy.
CYC Apparel share a common goal with non-governmental organization, whose aim is to do something good for the planet. A key non-governmental organisation in New Zealand would be the Environment and Conservation Organisation of Aotearoa New Zealand, or ECO, formed in 1971. ECO is a network which is considered as a collective voice for the 50 plus NGOs. They work with such as Greenpeace and Friend of Earth. A major concern of these stakeholders is the threat of plastic pollution to marine life, as the plastic bags are mistaken by turtle and whale because they look like jellyfish.
New Zealand collects a substantial amount of plastic waste through curb-to-curb pickups in towns and cities, as well as people simply taking their recycling into recycling plants. However, plastics, more specifically PET, do not stay here in New Zealand. In fact, it all gets sent away to other countries because we simply do not have the manufacturing plants to make anything sustainable with the waste products. By exporting our PET and other waste items, New Zealand makes a substantial amount of money. From 1999 to just 2000, there was already a $1 million increase from the original $1.8 million for exports of PET. This exemplifies the fact that there is a lot of money that New Zealand earns from the export of recycling. If, for instance, we were to apply this to our business proposal, we would have to find a way to equate to this significant amount of money.
According to Solomon's theory of ethical business behaviour, CYC Apparel is an ethical business as it complies with the 3 C's: compliance, contributions and consequences. These values have been incorporated into the business and responsibility has been accepted.
CYC Apparel complies with the Consumer Guarantees Act and Fair Trading Act. It also complies with the expectations consumers have for the business. Consumers demand products that are doing something positive for the environment. Euromonitor International found that although quality and price were the overriding factors driving buying decisions, green descriptors were found to play a significant role, meaning that we are providing customers with a product which they want. CYC Apparel will also pay workers fair wages and provide working conditions. Fair working conditions.
CYC Apparel makes a positive contribution to society through employing local workers, paying fair wages and engaging positively with its stakeholders. CYC Apparel provides a quality product for the community, which are having a positive effect and are doing their bit to save the environment from plastic pollution. The product that CYC Apparel is providing is a necessity for consumers who have a need for quality clothing. Therefore, CYC Apparel is saving living beings from the harmful effects of plastic pollution and providing safe clothing for consumers.
The third Solomon C, consequences, is defined by Solomon as the consequences of business activity, both inside and outside the company, both intended and unintended, including the reputation of one's own company and industry. The intended consequence of CYC Apparel doing business in New Zealand is that there will be a notable reduction in the amount of plastic bottles that end up littered in landfill, exported to be recycled or dumped in the ocean, saving living beings from the negative effects of plastic pollution. Our aim is to build a positive reputation for the business, which will be based on the idea that we are an ethical business putting the needs of the environment first, while producing a quality good.
Ethics are not being sacrificed for profit, following Solomon's idea that business ethics is not ethics applied to business, it is the foundation of business. We do not rely on ethics to bring success to CYC Apparel, but integrate it into the skeleton of our business idea so that it cannot exist without ethics. This results in a positive reputation for our business, meaning word of mouth from consumers will be a large driving factor to increase the popularity of the business.
So how is CYC Apparel sustainable? CYC Apparel follows various definitions of sustainability collected by Moscato 2013. Given by the CEO of Suncor Energy in relation to sustainable development, stating that it is possible for a business to protect the environment, care for people, and make a profit at the same time, while referring to the triple bottom line approach, which takes into account economic, environmental, and social performance. And the Government Environmental Management Agency, which refers to conserving and enhancing the resources of the community, ensuring the quality of life both now and in the future. In short, CYC Apparel is making a positive contribution to the environment and forming valuable relationships with people, all while making a profit. In terms of sustainability, this means that the 3 components of sustainability, profit, environment, and people, are taken care of. By approaching a social problem such as plastic pollution, CYC Apparel is able to combine relevant theories such as sustainability and Solomon's 3 C's, which support the use of recycled PET plastic to manufacture clothing in order to have a positive effect on the problem while maximising profit. CYC Apparel focuses on using business ethics to build the skeleton of our business, while constantly communicating with all stakeholders to ensure that everyone involved in CYC Apparel is happy and satisfied in the work that we do, from every member of the supply chain to our consumers protected under the Fair Trading Act, which allows CYC Apparel to provide the best product possible.